as we mentioned at the top of the show, tonight, August 19th, is a full moon. And even though we have maybe one, sometimes two each month, tonight's is a special one. Here to tell us why is astrologer Stephanie Gailing. Welcome back to New Day, my friend.
Thank you, Amity.
I am really excited to talk to you about this because I've heard so many things about this moon. It's the sturgeon moon, it's the super moon, it's the blue moon. What is so special about tonight's full moon?
Yeah, there's so many layers of why this moon is so special, right? So first, it's a supermoon. A supermoon is when the moon is closer in its orbit to the Earth, and so it appears much bigger and it appears much brighter.
And it could be much stronger, right? Especially like with tides.
In terms of the tides, absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. And then it's also a blue moon. So there's two definitions of a blue moon. There's oftentimes when you think of blue moon as if there's two full moons in a month, but there's something called a seasonal blue moon, which is what today's is.
Okay.
Instead of there being 3 full moons, there's 4 full moons this summer. And the third one, it's very technical, is called the blue moon. So it's a super moon, it's a blue moon, and this full moon is always called the sturgeon moon.
Okay, so thank you for explaining. My sister was fighting with me over the phone last night about this because I was like, it's a blue moon. She was like, blue moon's only when there's 2 moons in a month. And I'm like, really? I don't know. I'm gonna ask Stephanie. So, there you go, sister. Is each zodiac sign affected by the full moon?
Each zodiac sign is affected by the full moon, but I would say for this one in particular, you'll have 3 signs that are most affected.
Okay.
Aquarius, because that's where the moon is.
All right.
Leo, because that's where the sun is. And as well, and this is a little bit nuanced, but really important, Taurus, because that's where the planet Uranus is right now, and it's making an intense connection to this full moon.
Okay, so those 3 signs are gonna feel maybe something very special happen. Like, what do you think it is going to really kind of emulate in their lives?
Yeah, I mean, I would say also for everyone, just because of like sort of what's happening, this full moon is really about inviting in change.
Oof.
It may be a moment of like surprises and pivots and detours, but what I've been encouraging everyone to do is instead of waiting for the detour or waiting for the need to pivot, what kind of change can you invite into your life? Where can you draw outside of the lines, right? Where can you go out of your routine, go out of rote so that you can expand your awareness and invite in a greater sense of freedom to be yourself and to give yourself permission for that.
And not be afraid of change.
And not be afraid of change.
Because change is terrifying, but we have to remember it's neither good nor bad, it just is, right?
Exactly. And as they say, the nature of nature is change.
The nature of nature is change. All right. How does all this inspire you personally?
Yeah, I mean, what I love to do is really think about like what is happening when in terms of then sort of sequencing my awareness. You know, again, for this full moon, because of what it's intertwining with, I'm really looking at, okay, how can I draw outside of the lines, right? How can I actually look at perhaps that things are coming in that are surprising for me, but allow myself to be surprised, and how does that surprise open up pockets of awareness for me?
Yeah. Well, that's what I felt when I sat with you and you read my chart. It was just kind of, you gave me kind of a, I don't know, a clock or a marker of different things. And so I had more of an awareness of certain things, which helped me just make better decisions in life and be more aware, I guess, of the things that were happening. You say this full moon also ties into the astrology chart of America. Oh my gosh, what does that mean?
So the astrology chart of America has an Aquarius moon at a certain position, 27 degrees, and that's actually where the moon is today during this full moon. And so it does feel like, I mean, we have the Democratic National Convention beginning and other things that are happening in the world right now. And because of this Uranus tie-in, it does feel like this is a really like evolutionary and revolutionary moment for us as a country.
Wow, there's a lot going on with this moon. So let's talk beyond the full moon, though, for a second before I let you go. You say there's also a powerful alignment between Jupiter and Saturn that only happens every so many years. What are the challenges of this, or what are the benefits of this, just personally and maybe collectively as like a nation?
Yeah, and this is why, I mean, I've seen this date out for years before to be like, wow, there's a lot happening on this day. So this alignment between Jupiter and Saturn basically asks us to really look at balancing expansion, contraction, freedom, and limits, optimism and realism. And oftentimes we think of those two pairs, usually those pairs as opposites, but how can you weave them together so you can have growth that's sustainable, so that you can invite in freedom that actually gives you a greater sense of creating something that has long-lasting value.
Well, thank you so much for being here and reminding us how to invite in that freedom, that power for change, and to set our intentions on things, because it's all so important that we have that for ourselves, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Stephanie. So good to see you. Please come back again soon.